Hey there guys, Black Panther here, and welcome to another drift tutorial today in Forza Horizon 2, and today we're going to be drifting all-wheel drive. Now before we begin this, let me tell you why you're going to be drifting all-wheel drive. So all-wheel drive is a different type of drifting in the fact that you've got to power on and tap the handbrake mid-drift sometimes to get the tail back out again, because you've got all four wheels pulling. And that also means the kind of bad point of drifting this, when you're kind of drifting rear wheel drive, you can spin inwards, and that's how you kind of fail drift. Basically like that I just did there, but that was just using the handbrake. So what you will do fail-wise in this is the fact that you need to maintain the drift, and if you do keep pressing the handbrake mid-drift, it's going to pull forward into the corner and mess you up. And that is because, obviously, all four wheels are pulling you forward, and the front wheels, unlike in rear-wheel drive, are actually doing something during that drift. Now, one other major point inside all-wheel drive drifting is that it is 1,000,000% required that you upgrade the car. You cannot do it from stock. If you do, it will look kind of like that, and that's all you're really going to need to do, or you're going to be able to do, should I say. And that's not what we want. You can drift stock all-wheel drive, you know, it doesn't really need to be upgraded, but to get the best drifting, it's really, really important that you do upgrade and tune all-wheel drive cars. Much more so than rear-wheel drive cars, because rear-wheel drive, it's a bit easier to basically go out in the stock car and drift. You can all-wheel drive, but as I said, it's a bit easier in rear-wheel drive. So let's go all-wheel drive upgrade this thing. Now, as said, you can do a drivetrain swap on all the cars, so if you really prefer rear-wheel drive, there's the option to do so. But as I said, for this tutorial, it's going rear-wheel drive. And if we begin our upgrading, that will be awesome. Now, what I normally like to do, upgrade-wise, is kind of get the car to about S2 level with all-wheel drive. You can go with S1, but I usually find S2 is about where you need to be no matter what car. So that really means upgrading pretty much all of the stuff you can, because all-wheel drive cars, as I said, have kind of their power is split out all around their body. So I'm going to go about to by this, see what we go up to. We go to S2. We're already at S2 now, so that's literally where we're going to stay at. And once again, we're going to apply all the springs and such, which will allow us to adjust all of the things in tuning. So let's begin going through all of these. And once again, weight reduction is completely optional. It's up to you guys if you want to add the weight reduction in. I'm going to add the weight reduction into this build, because why would we not? And then we're going to go to the drivetrain upgrade everything here once again, so it's adjustable and obviously lighter, and improves performance that we can get from drifting all-wheel drive cars. So let's apply all of these, and once again apply these. Now you'll remember in the last tutorial that I did mention that you can change the tyre width of front and rear in all-wheel drive, and this will improve everything about both, you know, rear and front. So that's kind of the point here. Basically, put the thicker tyre on the tyres that actually do something. Obviously, the front tyre on the rear wheel drive doesn't, and the rear tyre on front wheel drive doesn't. So, you know, you get the idea. Once again, you can do the tyre compound if you want. Race compound is usually not something you'd put on there unless you want to grip to the road, so keep that in mind. Now, as for applying body parts here, I'm going to actually apply these because I'm feeling like the Audi needs these beautiful things, because why would we not? Why not, right? And I'm not sure on that spoiler now, actually, but we're going to keep it anyway. And there we go. So that's pretty much my all-wheel drive upgrade done. What you could do is go out and drive this thing as is. It's pretty much going to drift as you really need stock. So let's go for another drive again. As you can tell straight away, we've got a lot of wheel spin from all four wheels. And if we go second, power on as we did before. There we go. So as you can tell, it comes out of the corner a little bit differently because all four wheels are, you know, providing power to the car, and it's a lot easier to adjust mid-drift in all-wheel drive because once again you've got control over all four wheels. But you will be finding yourself pressing handbrake mid-drift as I just did there. So that's one of the main differences between rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive drifting. But in the fact that you can pretty much drift anything very, very easily, it's a lot easier to set up all-wheel drive drifting, but more expensive in the same sense. So as I said, you can stick stock if you want to. But what I want to do is actually play about and begin tuning this thing. So we'll go over to car now. And if we go to tune car, this is where the tune comes in once again. So once again, I put it more towards acceleration because it's a drift build. I'm going to reduce some of the camber. I'm going to increase some of the toe angle to increase the turning circle. And as for the anti-roll bars, I'm going to stiffen these up as we did on the other rear-wheel drive car, because obviously we don't want it to flop about as it does. Now obviously, because this car's kind of like a higher end car already, it's already going to be quite stiff because, well, these cars are made to be stiff, they're made to be low to the ground, that sort of thing, so you know there's that. So if we very quickly kind of just follow the basis of what it's got already stock. So if the top is already less than the rear, I usually increase it, as it is. Don't kind of make the front stronger than the rear if the it's already set up the other way. Just keep it as it is, but improve the number. As for the aero, we've got the ability to adjust these here, so I'm going to keep those stock as I normally do. And this is the differential of the kind of all-wheel drive cars. Now this is going to be a little bit different, as I said, because obviously this car has all four wheels being provided power to. Now, with the front, what I would like to do at the beginning is put it to 10 and 0. This will reduce the amount of power that's sent to the front because we don't want this car to pull forward. Some cars are better than others at stopping to do this, so if you have a bit of trouble kind of drifting, increase the high and the acceleration. Obviously keep them within 10%, so if you put it to 20, put this on 10. And that's basically how you do it. So as I said, if you have a bit of trouble drifting, increase that, but usually all cars seem to be fine at 10 and 0. As for the rear, you're going to put it to 80 and 70 again, and once again, if you have trouble, adjust it as you did. And this is where the center comes in. The center basically adjusts where the power is sent to more so. At the minute, it's got a 70% bias to the rear. I usually put it to about 60% bias. You can put it equal, but I usually put 60. That seems to work right, and that is that. That car is now tuned and ready to be drifted. So let's give it another go. Start in first gear, that'll probably be better. And obviously, because you're all-wheel drive, you have a massively better launch as well. Now, with all-wheel drive, you can literally power on constantly, other than the fact of when you begin to lose kind of control in the corner. As I said, it starts to straighten out because it's all-wheel drive. To kind of get the angle again, what you need to do is get off the accelerator and tap the handbrake and the brake I usually do at the same time. But you can see, because it's all-wheel drive, it handles a lot differently to what it did in rear-wheel drive. And as I said there, it's straightened out because all-wheel drive. So once you're actually driven both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive, you can kind of get to understand why they are, the main differences and why they're different. Because obviously they're going to handle a bit differently, but what I like the fact that if you've watched both of these videos, that means that you are not going to be one of the horrible people that insult others for driving the other drivetrain. Both of them are a lot of damn fun. This one seems to be more towards the... what I've found is, I found rear-wheel drive drifting a bit annoying at points, so what I did is switch to all-wheel drive and I had a lot of fun. Now, what I like to do now is, after I've progressed using all-wheel drive constantly, because it seems to be a bit easier basically, what I like to do now is kind of do both. But originally, I liked to go all-wheel drive, and it kind of makes you understand the car and how it works, and how all-wheel drive works different from rear-wheel drive, kind of in all aspects. So as I said, give all drivetrains a go. When you make your next drift build, try the other drivetrain, convert it to all-wheel drive if it's a tuner car. If it's already all-wheel drive, convert it to rear-wheel drive. Play around with it. See what you liked, see what you come up with, see which you prefer. Give them both a go, and as I said, you'll broaden your horizons, and obviously you'll broaden your ability to drift multiple types of drivetrain. But anyway, hopefully this tutorial has helped you also. If you did enjoy, make sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments if you want to see any other types of tune tutorials. I've got some planned, but I'll get those sorted in the future, probably in the next week or two. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us for this video. If you did enjoy this, give a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Subscribe for more. Peace.